Hey guys, back at it once again. In today's video, I'm going to be walking you through a tutorial and showing you fully an FS111 weed eater. Let's get into it. So this right here is the beast. Very, very good machine. Notice that it is modeled FS111R. The previous model was an FS110. This is overall a very, very good running machine. The only downside to it is that the choke, you have to be very, very careful when you're picking it up out of your truck and whatnot, because it's very, very easy to knock these new chokes off. They're just not as sturdy as the old ones were. Not only that, but it's also very complicated to put these on. With the old FS110s, you literally could just pop it right on. Boom. Anyone could do it. Now you need these specialized screwdrivers, which is a little tiny screwdriver, which is really the kind of screwdriver that you would need to replace a child's toy with one of those little special metal batteries. Yeah, that kind of a screwdriver. And it's a real pain. Very, very hard to work on. I've actually knocked off 4 of my chokes. I have 4 different units on this FS111, and that's the only con with these. But other than that, it is a very, very good machine. Something that I can tell you about the old model, the FS110, is that it had less gas mileage. After about 45 minutes to an hour of using an FS110 very hard, the tank would run out. But they did something that was new in designing these FS111s with the motor and whatnot. I'm not sure exactly the science behind it, but the way they designed the engine and the motor and overall, it has a lot more gas mileage. They're a lot smoother too. The way they run, they're just very smooth sounding. And a gas tank on one of these can last anywhere from an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours, just depending on how long how hard you're using it. An FS111 is the current best weed eater that I would recommend as far as commercial use goes. They have just enough power to where they can handle anything, but not so much power to where it's going to hurt your shoulders and stuff when you carry it. I actually bought an FS130 at the beginning of my career as a rookie landscaper, and that thing was just too heavy. It hurt my shoulders when I would carry it. So I would not ever recommend buying an FS130 or anything bigger than an FS111. And if you are wanting something for home use, obviously these nowadays, they're costing about 500 bucks. When I first started as a rookie, they were at 400. So if you bought one of these, spent 500 bucks, it's honestly, if you're just a homeowner, it's going to last you a lifetime. Me personally, as a landscaper, one of these FS111s, using it very, very hard, will last me anywhere from 3 to 4 years. So these things are absolute tanks, and they take a lot before they finally quit. So I can assure you that if you're just using it for home owner purposes, it's more than likely probably going to last you a lifetime. But very basic. You got your pole starter, gas tank, and this is your primer. In case you're having a hard time starting your weed eater, you can hit the primer, but I honestly usually don't do it. I almost never use that thing because they're just so smooth. Another flaw with these is it's very easy to bump the switch when you're in action, like swinging it side to side like this. It's very easy to run into your thigh or something and to hit the kill switch. So that's the only other con that I can think of. The old FS110s, there was not that problem because it was a switch. You literally just pushed it up and you pushed it down. Where this, it's just simply a press button. There is no switch on or switch off. It just simply, you press it down and it turns off. Now, as far as the weed eater head goes, pretty simple. In the beginning of my career, I would actually always use a key to slide in this because it's kind of hard to open. But as the years have gone by, I learned that you can literally just use your fingers to push this in. And it's kind of hard, but if you practice enough, your hands, they get strong enough to where you can do it. And boom, popped right off. Very, very simple design. You just simply take one of these lips, I think is what you'd call that, and you just set it down. And then the other side, you just have to get that lip aligned. Boom. Another really nice thing about these weed eaters, most of the commercial steel weed eaters, is the attachments. You can actually take this head off where you're just gonna, you just use your traditional tool. I don't know what that thing's called, but whenever you buy one of these, it comes with it, and you just stick it right in here. Your little tension screw, I guess is what that's called. And then the head comes right off. Now let me show you an attachment that you can actually put on that. This, my friends, is a hedge trimmer attachment. Very simple. You just simply put it on like this. Oh, it's a little bit tricky to try to show you with one hand, but that's how you want it to face. And it's a little tricky sometimes because you got to get this other hole lined up, not just the black, but it will go. And sometimes it can be a pain because you have to make sure it's pushed down all the way. Like, looking at it right now, you would think it's pushed down all the way, but it's not. You have to make sure that thing is completely locked in, otherwise the shaft will not work. Okay, that looks like that's locked in now. Now, those are the tension screws. Very simple. Just tighten those going clockwise, and that will make sure this thing isn't going to fly off or nothing. Okay guys, now that I've walked through the functions of this whole machine, let's do a quick little startup demonstration. So you're going to put your choke, full choke, and then, see if I can do this. That is a very powerful weed eater, and to gas it, you can't just press the trigger. You also have to push this trigger down first before you are going to enable this switch to go down, and that is your gas. One more con that I've noticed about these things is that for some reason the screws back here that control basically the butt of the weed eater, I've noticed on these new FS111s that they will loosen up on you to where the butt will literally spin like this, to where it's not aligned with the entire wand, I guess you could say. They never really acted up on me like that when I was first starting to use these, but around like just last year in 2023, some of them started doing that to me. So sometimes you just have to tighten the butt with your little fancy tool here. But I actually have done that before, and it didn't even help. So, I don't know, it's weird. You just gotta let the pros work on it, I guess. But, mind you, these are very, very reliable machines, and anybody out there that is needing to do some work in their yard, I highly recommend one of those. And if you are a pro landscaper, maintenance guy just like I am, that is the best, absolute best model in my humble opinion. You don't need anything bigger, and you don't need anything smaller. But for home use, people, if you want a smaller one, you could probably do just fine with an FS55, maybe a 45. They get pretty small, but like I said, if you buy the FS111, it's going to last you an entire lifetime if you're only using it for home use. So, okay, you guys, that's it. That was the tutorial startup demonstration of the FS111, and I hope you have a good day.